Okay, hello. This is about what sets you up for failure. You know, remember that message I was talking about, where every time you do something wrong, it's like a domino being set up of the enemy, and then all of a sudden it all comes crashing down, which is kind of a big thing. But it's true. Like, a lot of times we set ourselves up for failure because of the places that we're stepping. Um, like the heart of Cain was really bad, and he was totally fine before you know, he was realizing that his sacrifice wasn't accepted, and he was already kind of careless with a few things, so he was starting to be set up. So all of a sudden, when it all came crashing down, he just went off. He absolutely lost it. And so it's kind of an interesting thing. Like, what kind of things are you setting up yourself in your life? And is it setting yourself up for success, or is it setting yourself up for failure? Little things that we set up in our life we think is not a big deal, but down the line we find that it is a big deal. Now, the point that I wanted to look at here was Gehazi. This road is scary. Gehazi was careless. He didn't take seriously the power of the Holy Spirit working in the Old Testament, and he ended up getting warned and warned and warned, but he didn't take it seriously enough overall, and he was setting himself up for failure. I hate these brakes. These brakes stop on like a dime. So when you're going slow, they just shoot to brakes. Like, you just stop. And so it's really awkward. That's why I sound like I'm driving like a drunk. It's not my fault. It's this it's a good truck other than the brakes. Anyway, but Gehazi was really attracted to stuff. He was thinking like Judas Iscariot, like very wrongly about Jesus. He was thinking wrongly about God, and thinking wrongly about what it means to be a prophet and to do the work of a prophet and the works of God. Well, he certainly didn't have the right perspective of it, and his heart was not right, and it was not trainable to be set up for victory there. God had tried to warn him, to let him know that if you're going to be doing this thing, you're going to be needing to understand a few things, and right now it looks like you're not getting it. And down the line, when it came right to it, he ended up getting the leprosy for it and losing his position. He was jacked. He got killed for it. The judgment was there. When it comes to these diseases that you see in Leviticus, a lot of times they have representations. There's prophetic meaning behind them in regards to certain kinds of sins or certain kind of things that we do that will plague us the rest of our life, one way or the other. Like David had the sword against his helm forever. I say that one all out because it's such a big deal, and it fits in so many different places. But setting ourselves up, I think a lot of it is where Gehazi is. His heart was not set right, and it ended up being that he was just kind of setting himself up for disaster when things were all coming down. So we can take a look at our own lives and say, are we really checking a look at our lives and finding out, is this going to be safe for my global, for my whole position, everything that I want to be doing? Is this going to be a good thing to build the right kind of brick that won't fall? Or is this going to be some kind of cheap shot thing that's going to be able to come and bite me in the butt down the line and cause me to fail? I guess I feel like I want to keep talking, but I don't know what else I have to say. But I just know that there's a reason why your heart jumps into it. Like when you snap sometimes, or you act like a fool, or I can't believe I just did that. It's like because there was something that was not straightened out in the first place. It's a lot of the reason why God doesn't allow people to move forward, even though we think it's going to be so simple. He's like, it's a lot more serious than that. You're going to have to be 100 times more sober than you already are in order to handle the victory that I want to bring you to, the leadership that I wanted to bring you into. There's a lot of things in your life right now that is very careless. There's a lot of things in your life that is very, very not serious. And so if you're going to be that careless with something like that, when the power starts to come, there's going to be temptations that you're not going to be able to handle, and then you're going to be walking on the wrong path, and all of a sudden, bam! And the higher you go, the lower you go. Like the bigger you are, the harder you fall. And if you start to get big in the Lord, and you start to be recognized by the public as somebody who is really doing right and really bringing the word and all these things, you're going to be, when you fall, it's going to be a really big problem. That's my point. And God doesn't want us to set up for failure. So I believe that our steps and our positions and where we are, where we're going to be found when God looks at us in any given moment? Are we assuming that he can look at us and kind of come check on us anytime he wants and check and see, is everything in our heart preparing for good? Are we setting ourselves up for right? Are we in the right position? Are we thinking right? Are we planning on getting the right places and such? So all these things must be considered when it comes to getting dialed into the things of God.